Let's just do one more thing this week. So up till now we've been using this image URL with an image ID to fetch and display an image. And what we want to do instead is have something on the image set that takes a size and an image set ID and then fetches the appropriate image for that image set. Because the three images are associated with each other via the image set. So I'm going to go ahead and start in my test fetch image. And here's some code that actually does the image fetch. And I'm going to copy this code, and some of it's going to go in the database and other is going to go in the image set class. So let's go ahead and copy the database code right here. And in shared database, I'm going to start by adding a new method, public function fetch image. And it will take a set ID. And it will also take a size key. So the set ID is going to be the image set ID, and then the size key will be which of the images you want to fetch for the image set. So for example, these keys up here, original image ID key, page image ID key, or thumbnail image ID key, that's going to be which one you want to fetch. So the query for fetching the image is a little more complicated now because it's got to select from the image set table joined with the image table on the whichever size key they specified, that value equal the image ID from the image table. So we're going to need some keys here. Image table, images table, and image sets table, and we're going to need these things: MIME type, data, and size. MIME type key, and data key, and size key. And let's also return the name and the width and the height of the image that we're fetching. So name key and width key and height key. So that should be everything we need right now. Then we also need to match whichever size key they passed into the image ID. So I need an image ID key. And I think that's everything. So let's go ahead and try starting. So I want to select the MIME type key and data key and size key and name key. Width key, height key. Not sure I need the image ID here, so I'll leave it out for now, and I might add it later if I need it. This is going to return an associative array, so it's not hard to add extra values to it. And then that's going to be from images. From images table, join image sets table on image ID key equal size key. Actually, I have a problem here. Size type key, because I have a size key here as well. So I need to have different variable names. Size type key. And just for consistency, I'll wrap that in curly brackets as well. And then where, and here I need the image set ID. So set ID key. Image set ID key is equal to a parameter. So I'm going to prepare the statement, bind the ID, the result. Now I actually need several things. So I have type, data, size, name, width, height, and then that's getting a little long, so I'll break that up as well. Then we'll execute the statement, we'll fetch the results. That will bind these variables to whatever the results were. And then back in my test image set, what I was doing was, that's not test image set, I actually wanted test fetch image. So I just have these variables, I want to return them in an associative array. So return an associative array, and let's use the same keys as we had before. So MIME key goes to type, and data key goes to data, size key goes to size, name key goes to name, width key goes to width, and height key goes to height. Okay, and that looks good. So now we could just call this function direct from the user-facing page, but it's good to maintain a three-tiered model. So instead of going directly here, I'm going to have the user-facing page talk to the ImageSet class, and then the ImageSet class will actually execute this call. So it's basically going to be a pretty simple function in the ImageSet class. And we'll call this public function FetchImage. And all it's going to do is create a new shared database object and then return the fetch image method of the database. So that's a delegation. Then in the user-facing page, we want to call that. So new PHP file, fetch image, I'm just going to paste this here for a second and take a look at why I'm getting an error here. Oh, yeah, because this doesn't do anything anymore. I'm actually going to delete this test image set now because I refactored all the code and we can test it through the real interface now. All right, so this is going to be an image set pointer fetch image, and that's going to return an array. And then in order to do that, I need to get the set ID and the size type key. And those are both going to be get method. And I want to make them get method instead of post method because they're going to be image tags. They're going to be on image tags in HTML. So set ID is equal to get post value of image set : image set ID key. And so I need to actually create one of those. Image set ID key. And then size type key is get post value image set image set size type key. So I need one of those as well. And I'm just going to call this ID and this size to keep the URL simple. I can really call them anything I want. So now I have my image array, and what I want to do with it is basically just the same thing I did with this test fetch image here. So I want to set a header content type is image array sub image set ::. Actually, that's share db. MIME type key. And this one is going to be image array share database size key. And I think that matches what I used when I created the array. So let's double check that. Yeah, so share database size key and share database MIME type key. And then the actual data is in data key. So we're going to echo image array share database data key. So this should fetch our image. We're going to need to require some stuff, and I'll probably miss some, but we're going to need utilities, assets includes utilities for get post value, and we're going to need the assets includes image set. And I don't think we need image. I might be wrong about that, but we definitely need the shared database. And I think that's it for now. Well, let's go ahead and try it and see if it works. So the way I'm going to call this is share fetch image question mark ID equals, and then I need an image set ID, so 34, and size equals, and then I need the name of the key. So I want, for example, let's do the thumbnail image ID. Okay, so FetchImage.php. So undefined variable image set on line 15. Oh, yeah, so I need an image set. Actually, this should be a static method on image set. I don't want to have an object here because I don't want to call the constructor. So public static function fetch image. So this is just image set : fetch image. And I actually probably want to make this static as well, but no, this has to actually be a real function. Let's go ahead and reload. Call to a member function bind param on Boolean and share database 247. So what is ID? Oh, should be set ID. There we go. Oh, so this isn't actually returning results. Let me go ahead and put a breakpoint here and see where we are. Okay, so here's what our query looks like before the prepare. And I'm going to copy that, and I'm just going to paste it into Notepad++. All right, so on image ID equals, so there's a problem. So we're not getting the right image ID. Yeah, set ID is empty. So let's go up here, set ID, and we'll go up one level. So set ID should be get post value of image set ID key. Oh, it's get, not post. All right, so let's go ahead and continue here. Turn off debugging. We want to get value. And now let's try it. There we go. So there's the thumbnail. Here's the original. Right, 3072 by 23 some odd. And then here's the page version, 800 by 600. So this is working fine. Last thing to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy this part here. And I'm going to go to my URL rewrite rules. So I still have my httpd.conf open. And I'm going to add rewrite rule. I want to match some variation of that. Actually, I want to produce this. So I want to match CIS 295p share let's call it a rig image. So that's the pattern I'm going to match. And then it's just going to get rewritten as that. So there's the orig image. And then we want one for page image. And one for thumb image. So now instead of typing this big complicated thing, I can just say 295p share or rig image with the ID or page image or thumb image. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then I'm going to go to XAMPP control and stop Apache and start. And I'm going to go to share orig 34. And then page image 800 by 600 and thumb image, oh, thumbnail image. No, it was thumb image. So what did I do wrong? Let's go ahead and take a look. So let me look at my rewrite rule because that's what I just changed. So thumb image, thumbnail image. There. And then I have to stop XAMPP and stop Apache and start it again. There. Okay, two minor fixes. So I'm going to go back to my shared database, and the first fix is, instead of creating a new connection, I should be calling the static connect method so that it gets reused, the connection gets reused properly. And I'm going to get rid of these warnings by initializing all these variables. So type is null, data is null, size is null, width is null, name is null, and height is null. And then I have one other security hole here, which is I'm using URL rewrite rules so that the user doesn't actually have to type the name of the column in the database. But if the user knows that the direct page exists, like so, if they know this exists and they specify the right values here, I might be subject to a SQL injection attack, because the ID is bound to a parameter, and so that's completely safe even if I don't do anything to it. But the size type key, which was supplied on the URL, that's actually concatenated into this here.doc string. And so somebody could, as I said, create a SQL injection attack based on that if they know the direct URL and so on. So what I'm going to do is create a safe version of this. So safe size type key equal db pointer real escape string. Actually, it should be con. I'm using con elsewhere, so let me refactor, rename con. And then size type key. And then here I'm going to use that instead. And hopefully I haven't broken anything, so let's go ahead and hit reload. And let's try thumbnail. And then let's go back to the rewrote versions. So here's the thumb image. Good. And let's just try page and orig. Page and orig. All right, so that's it for this week. Next week we'll create some galleries and look at permissions on images so that only certain users can see certain content.